This is dollar logic, where we break down the hidden logic behind money, business, and the systems that shape your everyday life. No jargon, no fluff, just clear answers. When most people budget for a car, they budget for one number, the monthly payment. If the payment fits, the car fits. But the payment is only a fraction of what a car actually costs you every year, and the largest single expense of car ownership is one that never appears on any bill at all. Today we are breaking down the real cost of owning a car. Let us start with the headline number. AAA publishes an annual study called Your Driving Costs, and its most recent figures put the average cost of owning and operating a new vehicle at $11,577 per year, assuming 15,000 miles of driving annually. That works out to roughly $965 per month, and about 77 cents for every mile you drive. Now compare that to what most people think they are paying. The average new car monthly payment in 2026 was around $763. So the average driver is spending roughly $200 a month more than their payment, and that is before you account for the fact that the payment itself eventually ends, while the other costs never do. The biggest single cost is depreciation, and it averages $4,334 per year. Depreciation is the value your car quietly loses as it ages. A new car typically loses around 20% of its value in the first year alone, and roughly 40% or more over 5 years. You never write a check for depreciation, and it never shows up on a statement, which is exactly why most people ignore it entirely. But if you buy a car for $40,000 and sell it 5 years later for $20,000, that $20,000 difference was a real cost of using that car. The second largest cost is insurance, averaging $1,694 per year for full coverage. Premiums have risen sharply over the past few years, and there are concrete reasons why. Modern vehicles are packed with sensors, cameras, and driver assistance technology, which means even a minor bumper collision can require expensive recalibration rather than a simple repair. Vehicles overall cost more, parts and labor cost more, and accident severity has increased. All of that flows directly into premiums. Third is finance charges, averaging $1,131 per year. This is the interest you pay on your auto loan, and it is a genuine cost of ownership, not just a payment mechanic. In 2026, average auto loan rates ran around 6.4% for new vehicles and over 11% for used vehicles, with average loan terms stretching to about 69 months. Longer terms make monthly payments look smaller while increasing the total interest you pay over the life of the loan. Then come the running costs. Fuel averaged about 13 cents per mile, maintenance and repairs averaged about 11 cents per mile. Registration, licensing, and taxes averaged $813 per year. None of these are optional, and all of them scale with how much you actually drive. Vehicle type changes this picture significantly. In AAA's data, a small sedan came in at roughly $8,380 per year, while a half-ton crew cab pickup ran about $14,781 per year. That is a difference of more than $6,000 annually for the same 15,000 miles of driving, purely based on what you chose to drive. Electric vehicles are worth addressing directly because the picture is more nuanced than most assume. Fuel costs for EVs are dramatically lower, around 5 cents per mile versus roughly 13 cents for gas. But in AAA's medium sedan comparison, the electric version actually cost more per year overall, at about $13,692 versus $9,956 for gas and $9,479 for a hybrid. The reason is depreciation and insurance, both of which ran significantly higher for the EV in that sample. This varies enormously by model and by how long you keep the vehicle, so it is not a universal rule, but it does show that lower fuel costs alone do not automatically mean lower total costs. There is a warning sign worth mentioning in the broader market. Subprime auto loan delinquencies, borrowers with lower credit scores falling 60 or more days behind, reached record highs in early 2026, peaking around 6.9%, the highest since tracking began in 1994. Prime borrowers remained largely stable. Some researchers argue this overstates the level of distress, since the flow of new delinquencies has been relatively steady, but the trend still reflects real strain from high vehicle prices combined with high interest rates. So how should you actually think about this? Start by calculating total cost of ownership rather than monthly payment. Add up your estimated depreciation, insurance quote, fuel, maintenance, registration, and interest, then divide by 12. That number is what the car truly costs you each month, and it is often 25 to 40% higher than the payment alone. Second, get an insurance quote before you buy, not after. Two vehicles with similar sticker prices can have very different insurance costs based on repair expenses, theft rates, and safety data. Third, understand that buying a lightly used car, typically 2 to 3 years old, lets someone else absorb the steepest part of the depreciation curve while you still get a modern, reliable vehicle. This is the single largest lever most buyers have. Fourth, be cautious about extending loan terms to reduce a monthly payment. A 72 or 84-month loan makes the payment look manageable, but it increases total interest paid and raises the risk of owing more than the car is worth for a long stretch of the loan. A car is not just a purchase. It is an ongoing system of costs that continues for as long as you own it. Depreciation, insurance, fuel, maintenance, and interest all run in the background whether you think about them or not. Understanding the full number does not mean you should not own a car. It means you can choose one knowing what it actually costs. That's how it actually works. Understanding money doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be explained clearly. If this helped, subscribe to Dollar Logic for more videos that make sense of the systems around your money. See you in the next one.